am Mark Sanders, 37 years old, from McDonough, Georgia.
I'm Michael Sanders. I'm 41 years old, and I'm from Mara, Georgia, currently living in Kentucky.
We started prepping together, him a little longer than I have, but we gathered up a good bunch of stuff here to survive. I've been in the emergency medical field for about 18 years working as a full-time firefighter. I've seen different things change, emergencies come up, and see how quick panic can set in, even if it's from the lights going out, power going out. People panic. Water mains, people don't have water, they don't know what to do. So I've decided to take it a step higher and started prepping quite a few years now. I've always hunted, stayed in the woods. So what I'm prepping for is economic collapse, the power grid being hit, and possibly the Russians, the Koreans, or China putting their boots on our soil, which we don't like. So that's when Red Dawn sets in. We're going to cover reasons why I believe I'd be a good candidate for Doomsday Prepper. Because of my skills as a firefighter and seeing what has gone on in emergency situations. My hunting abilities, fishing abilities, and be able to survive in the woods if an emergency should arise. As you can see, we have many different things here that we prep for, from food, water, sanitation, bug out bag. Bug out bag's a big thing because here, living in a populated area, I wouldn't be able to stay because the places will be looted, the houses will be torn apart from thugs and people panicking trying to get food for their family. So what we have is a location about 30 minutes, 35 minutes from here that we can go to have a safe zone in the woods. We have our shelters, we can take the water, we have a vehicle that will supply the means of getting it from here to our new bug out location. We'll have to live by what we had stored up and through hunting, fishing, trapping, and other means. We also have a location at my brother's house, which he'll be talking here in just a second. That's in Kentucky. He lives at the base of a mountain. We have more food supplies there. There's a actual house there we can live in, and we can join up there, get together, get our plan together of what we need to do, gardening, farming, and that sort of thing. So my brother Michael Sanders is about to step up and tell you why he would be a good Doomsday Prepper.
Why do I think that I would be a good Doomsday Prepper candidate? Well, Doomsday means a lot of things to different people. To me, Doomsday may be not necessarily a pandemic, it may not be another war, it may not be an earthquake. Doomsday could possibly be just a death in the family, death of a spouse, a death of a child. So what am I prepping for as far as that goes? We want to make sure our debt's paid off. We want to make sure we've got our wills and healthcare power of attorneys in place. That's a local family disaster. Then you can have a local disaster such as maybe a flood. We want to prep for that. Then we have national disasters, or more of a regional disaster, which could be something more along the lines of a pandemic, all the way up to an apocalyptic event. That's what we're prepping for. You can't prep for just one, you need to prep for all of them. I've been a physician now for about 8 years as well, and I practice pulmonary critical care medicine, so obviously one of the things that is important to me is to make sure that in times of crisis, myself and my family is going to be able to be taken care of. That's why one of the things that I'm very interested in stockpiling and educating others in the community about is how to practice basic medicine, whether it's how to store antibiotics safely, whether it's how to provide basic trauma care, because you've got to worry about not only, most people worry about getting shot and ballistic trauma, but you've also got to worry about farm implement trauma. Somebody could get crushed under a bucket. There's no telling what could happen when the medical system breaks down. But the more common thing I guess I'm prepping for is not a full collapse, but a partial collapse of society. And what I mean by that is the U.S. is obviously in trouble. And so we're looking at the economy. It's already in just shambles right now. We're looking at a possible collapse with that. We're looking at also a possible collapse with the healthcare system. So that's what I'm prepping for. And we're going to talk a little more here. We're going to show you some of the stuff that we're storing up.
Okay, real quick, we're gonna get together, get some of our goods together. We're gonna show you our food, our water, our bug out bags, bug out vehicle. Maybe talk a little bit more about our location, and show you some of the few of the livestock we have in maybe our little gardening system. Don't want to give you too much, get you too excited too quick. And he's going to talk about a little more of different things also. Go ahead and fill him in on that, Michael.
Okay. Well, I'd like to talk about our medical supplies to start with.
Some men you just can't reach.
All right, so to start with, we've got an IV kit here that I've put together. This is a bag I got off of the internet, and as you can see, it's got a pouch here that'll hold 2 500-liter bags of saline. It's got an opening at the bottom to run it out of. We've got tourniquets. I've got all my IV catheters as well as the IV starter kits and tubing here, and this is all in one nice compact location. Here we've got our chest rig bags. I've got several of these made up for each of my rigs. We've got nasopharyngeal airways, the trauma scissors, Israeli bandages, tourniquets, things like that in these. And then I've also got a vehicle med bag that has all the stuff from the chest rig kit, plus some additional things such as chest seals. I've got SAM splints, I've got quick clot, C-locks, more tourniquets, scissors, gloves, all that kind of stuff in there. One of the other things that I think is important medically, aside from the trauma equipment, is to store medicine such as antibiotics, because infection is going to be one of the things that people are going to die from, probably the most common thing that people are going to die from, and that's mainly going to be from contaminated drinking water. Well, we're stockpiling antibiotics. We've got various kinds. I've got them sealed off in packs for the proper amount of days for the different conditions, whether it's a sinus infection, a Giardia infection, or whatever. Here, I've got a cyanide antidote kit. I've got a chest tube for trauma. We're storing electrolyte tablets because, again, if you're out working in the heat in a collapse type situation, you're going to need to replace your electrolytes in addition to having clean water. So that's kind of what we're doing as far as storing medical supplies. Next, Mark's going to talk about some MMA, some firearms, and some of the other things that we're doing.
Another huge part of survival is weapons. M1A, take down any enemy, definitely take down an animal to survive.
Move! Moving!
Move! Moving!
Move!
For not prepping, you get caught in a situation like this. But for prepping and survival techniques, I can get out of it. And guess what? Maybe he is the one that needs to call for help.
One, two, leg kick. Ha!
Another very important aspect of prepping is to make sure you have plenty of food stored. One of the things I like to do is get a typical 5-gallon bucket, put your Gamma Seal lid on top of it, like this right here. You can get these at your hardware stores, you can order them online. Put your Mylar bag like this in here. This one here is filled up with pinto beans. Put your oxygen absorber in here, and it basically vacuum seals itself, and these are good for years and years and years. The other thing I like to store is freeze-dried foods from Mountain House. This is some chicken and rice. We've got some asparagus. They make everything, meats, fruits, vegetables, desserts, breakfast foods, it's all there. So if you have a good variety of foods that you like to eat, that's the best thing to keep on hand, especially when you're going to the grocery store. If you buy just a few extra cans each visit of things that you like to eat and eat already, that's the best way to get started prepping.
Okay, here we are back. Now we're going to go through Some of our livestock, we have 4 laying hens. We'll let the kids do that like they normally do. Clean out the chicken coop, move it over to the compost. We're gonna feed the chickens. Set it back up and get ready for them to lay some more eggs. This is my beautiful wife, Haiti Sanders. This is Dean, Joshua, Nicole, and Pumpkin, Summer. She usually knows the exact amount to get. Perfect. Chickens told her one time what to get. Get a bucket, shovel. All right, guys. It's in there. Let's go over here. All right, hey, come over here and look at this. Check this out. Got an egg here.
Yeah, go ahead. Hey, hand that to Nicole. Show them the egg real quick that we got there. All right, here you go. Lay that bucket down. Put on with that right there. There you go.
Okay. How long are they filming?
Here.
All right, let's take them in. I'll get them in the wash and put them in the fridge.
We're gonna take this to the compost.
Let's go do it. We're out here at the garden now. We're it's getting to the end of the tomatoes, peppers, and that sort of thing. We're about to tear all this up, put some in the cans, and get ready for our fall and winter crops. All right, guys. Let's see what we got. Good.
Let's see what we got. Banana.
Just get the top.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Let's go.